Now we're going to calculate the arrivals by the day of the week, which is up here, and by the room type. Now this is also similar to the count if that we did earlier, except we now have more than one criteria because we have two criteria. So we need two criteria ranges, and for each of the criteria range, we have a criteria, and we need to satisfy both of them. So let's get started. We type here on B15 number of arrivals by on Sunday for standard twin room bookings. So we enter equal, and then we type the function name COUNTIF, but this time we need more than one criteria, so we have to use COUNTIFS. Okay, and it's over here, COUNTIFS. It's very similar to COUNTIF, except it can take more than one criteria. So our first criteria is we want to look at the room type. Okay, so the room type should be equal to standard twin room. So I switch to Ex2 hotel data. I select the criteria range, which contains the room type, C5, C95, comma. I switch back to my worksheet. I remove this sheet reference. I don't need it. Okay, so this is my criteria. So I want to count the booking only if the value that is in this range, C5 to C95, is equal to the room type I'm interested in, which is in A15. Now my second criteria is the weekday on which the guest is arriving. So that criteria range is also in EX2 hotel data, so I switch there. And you can see that the sheet reference is filled in for me automatically. And this second criteria range is in K5 to K95, comma. Okay, and the criteria that I'm going to apply there is that it should be a Sunday because I'm interested in Sunday. And so I'm going to remove the sheet reference here. So it's in B14, the weekday that I'm interested in. So there you have it. I have my two criteria ranges and also the criteria I want to apply to it. So what this function means is count the booking only if the room type in column C is equal to standard twin room and the weekday of arrival is Sunday in column K. Now when I press enter, you'll see that the answer is 0. So that means there are no bookings where the guest is arriving on a Sunday and is staying in a standard twin room. Now before I copy this to the other cells, I need to make sure I'm using the right type of reference. So C5, C95 should be absolute. And K5, K95 should be absolute. Now if you look at A15, A15 refers to standard twin room. Now later on when we copy this to the next row, we do need the row number 15 to adjust. It will become 16, 17, and so on. But the column should stay the same. It should stay A. So 15 can adjust, but A should stay as column A. So we put a $ in front of it. Okay, and that's because later on we need to copy this formula over to column B, C, D, and so on. And we don't want the column to adjust. And same thing here for B14. For B14, we want the column to adjust because next time if we want to count Monday, we want it to become C14, D14, E14, and so on. But the row number should be absolute. So I'm going to put a $ here. Okay, but the column, this can adjust, but the row number should remain as 14. So the answer is still the same, and we'll see the effect when I copy it downwards and when I copy it sideways. Okay, so there's no arrivals on Friday and Saturday. So let's sum this. And let's copy this sideways. Okay, so we'll see that we can see that the highest number of arrivals is on a Tuesday, and that's probably because it's around the time that the fair starts, and the fair ends on probably on a Thursday or on a Friday. So at that point, nobody is gonna arrive for the fair. And if we want to make sure that it's the same as the bookings here, it should be equal to 91. We can add it up. So let's try that. If, okay, we can do an if. If the sum of all these bookings is equal to whatever we calculated up here, then the answer is correct. Otherwise, it's wrong. Okay, so you'll see it's correct. So it balances out. The sum of the